CAS is pleased to present Collecting 101, where collectors and experts in the hobby share their knowledge and expertise about the collectibles we love. Visit our website at collectorarchive.com for grading and preserving of your collectible toys, video games, and sports memorabilia.
Hey guys, Joe Curcio here. The guys at CAS asked me to come on and talk about starting lineups, and I love starting lineups, as you can see. So I was like, absolutely love to do the job, and so here I am, and we're going to start out with 1988, the very first year for starting lineup. They started out with baseball back then, massive lineup, 124 figures in the first year for baseball, 1988 baseball, and great lineup, great set. Big set, and back then there was no such thing as the internet. And if you looked on the back of a figure, you had this checklist. This is a 1988 figure, Mike Boddicker, and this checklist is wrong. There's guys on here that they made. There's guys on there they didn't make. There's also guys on that they didn't make. They're not on the checklist. So it's all over the place. It's first year for a line, so you kind of think things would be a little goofy. But Kenner did a really good job actually. Back then, they didn't make too many mistakes, too many errors, and not that we know of anyway. But again, the 1988 baseball set had 124 players, and many were released regionally. So you'd look on the back of the checklist, and you'd see someone like Brian Downing. He played for the Angels. For all you young guys out there. And so you go to your store, say you lived in Northeast, you go to your local Walmart, Hills, department store, wherever, and you're looking for Brian Downing. You never found it. It's almost impossible because he was only released out west. Maybe not just in the California area, but, out west somewhere, maybe, Nevada, in that area. He was out west, you can only get him, not in the east. Same thing went, for other teams. And this became a problem. Back then, there was no internet, there was no eBay, and it wasn't easy to find things. So I guess collectors just gave up, I guess. I don't know. Back in 1888, I didn't collect yet. I was only 12, 13 years old, and it just wasn't my thing yet. But time went on, and people figured out what happened. But back to 1988 baseball, again, big set. As for variation-wise, the biggest variation, again, would be, the checklist on the back. There might be a couple different checklists. I'm not even sure, actually, for baseball, if there were different checklists. There might not have been. But a UPC sticker sometimes was different. It would say the name of a player. For example, Don Mattingly. It might just say Mattingly. It may say Don Mattingly. Does this matter, really? Nah. If you're a very strict collector, and you have a theme going on and you want everything made of Don Mattingly, then that'd be a big deal to you. Neither are hard to find. They're both easy to find. But it's a cool little variation. Another variation would be on the front of the package. They had an offer. The offer was for an autographed baseball. Not really, it was like a facsimile autograph. And it was a yellow burst on the front of the package that you could mail away a UPC and probably some money for postage and get this autographed baseball. Pretty cool. And almost every figure had this on the package except for a few that I have never seen. Guys like Barry Bonds, Jody Davis, Brian Downing, Mark Langston, Ken Phelps, Ryne Sandberg, and Rick Sutcliffe. I've only seen them maybe once or never with this offer on the front of the package. So something cool to look for if you're into that variation game. Look for those figures with the yellow starburst offer. And, again, is it going to bring a premium in price? Maybe, maybe not, only to the right collector. But it's a cool little variation to go after. You did have some errors back in 1988 baseball. Again, this is just for someone that collects that kind of stuff. Me personally, not my thing. But, I know of a Ricky Henderson that, of course, played for the Yankees, but has a White Sox jersey. So stuff like that floats around. Again, it's just a manufacturing thing. It's nothing that Kenner did on purpose. Moving past the baseball, we then got into the football series. The football set had 137 figures. Pretty big set. Pretty big set for a sport that at the time wasn't as popular as it is today. But a great looking set. Many hard to find figures, again, released regionally. And, so this became an issue. Once again, you're looking for the Raiders and you live out east, you're not going to find the Raiders. Mark Wilson, Todd Christensen, they're just not coming towards you. Same thing if you're a Jets fan and you live in, Oregon, sorry. You're going to have a hard time finding Jets in Oregon. But it's the theme that Kenner went with starting lineup. I'm not sure why they did this. It made things more interesting for sure as years went on and you're trying to collect these guys and you just can't find them. And again, no internet, no eBay, none of that stuff, no Facebook, no social media at all. So it's really hard to find your favorite players, teams, if you weren't in the area that they were released in. Variation-wise for 88 football, again, the checklist on the back. There are two different card backs, I believe, that have a different checklist. Both are wrong. So, there's one card back. It's an earlier release that has players like Bo Jackson, Walter Payton. That's a really tough card back to find with that checklist, but they are out there. And then, of course, they updated it, but it was still wrong. So, if you're looking at that checklist and you want to complete your set, don't do it. You're never going to find all the guys because they're just not all out there. They never made them all. Another thing with the 88 football set, certain UPCs are blacked out. The name is blacked out. And I don't know if this would affect grading purposes. You'd have to contact CAS to see if this would affect the grade because it is ink on a UPC. Again, done by the factory though. But there's certain players like Henry Ellard, Altoon, Todd Blackledge, and Audrey Bruce from the Falcons that 9 times out of 10 you're going to find them with the UPC, just the name crossed out in black marker. Sometimes you will see one that does not have it blacked out. And for example, and this is a cut card figure. This is Audrey Bruce, but the only reason I have this is because the name on the back you could see was Buddy Curry. They never made Buddy Curry. I would imagine Buddy Curry was going to be in this pose, and for whatever reason they cut him out. He might have retired, got traded, and they inserted Audrey Bruce, which I believe was a pretty top prospect back then, and that's probably why they did that. Cool little interesting fact, I guess, but again, figures without that blacked out name they're pretty tough to find. So something fun for you to chase down if you're into that thing. Then you move on to 88 NBA basketball set. The basketball set had 85 figures in it. Smaller set, but again, basketball is a smaller sport. 5-guy start, a couple more on the bench, so you don't have these big lineups like you did in baseball and football. The basketball set is a beautiful set, colorful, rare, and right now smoking hot. 88 basketball prices are through the roof. If you have, your Jazz, your Spurs, your Mavericks, your Pacers, I could go on, and they're in great shape. Get them graded, get them encased, protect them, make sure they look good, keep them safe, and enjoy. Variation-wise with basketball, you're going to see a sticker on the front bubble. This is the only thing variation-wise they did. They had a giveaway, not a giveaway, but a mail-away offer for slam dunk figures. Again, mail in the UPC, the sticker, postage, blah, blah, blah. You get a slam dunk figure, I believe in 89. And but that's it. Again, the checklist on the back of the basketball, don't go by it. It's wrong. It's always wrong. And, this went on for years. I believe what happened was they had these checklists printed up way ahead of time. And, things change. Guys get traded, guys retire, guys don't want a figure made of themselves, whatever the case may be. And what's Kenner going to do with these card backs? Are they going to throw them away? Are they going to use them? Well, cost-wise, they're going to use them and just say, well, they didn't come out. Again, these guys back here, they weren't made to collect. They were toys for kids. It says sports collectible on them, but Come on, you know, they were targeted for kids, really. But, you know, it turned out to be a pretty exciting toy line, I believe, for 13 years, which is really long for any toy line. I mean, you think of all these toy lines out there, like Star Wars and Mask, you know, I could go on and on. Not too many made them for 13 straight years. You know, it's unfortunate that they don't make them anymore, as far as I'm concerned anyway. But there you have it. There's a little history lesson on 1988 starting lineups. No hockey yet. That's coming in a few years. But I tell you, by 89, it was in the works. So, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And thanks to CAS for having me and talking starting lineups. And we'll see you soon.